What's up, guys? I just got back from an ICIS breakfast briefing on the state of the chemical industry. The news is not that great. There's definitely a slowdown underway. Not ready to call a recession just yet, but a few signs pointing in a somewhat negative direction. The first one is the PMI, the Purchasing Managers Index, still below the 50 line, which is in negative territory, and that's the manufacturing index, not the overall index. The yield curve remains inverted. Take a look at this chart. You can see versus 2 years ago in red how the very clear inversion in the level of long-term interest rates versus the kind of 1 to 2 month interest rates there. Unemployment, as we all heard on the news, ticked up a little bit this month to 4.3%. It's still historically low, but that upward push there definitely has expectations of much lower interest rates and thoughts of inflation behind us. There are also signs of consumer spending slowdowns in certain areas and certainly a shift in spending patterns towards more of the basics, more of the essentials, and away from some of the less essential, more sort of luxury purchases. Barrel of oil down a fair bit from the July the 4th peak of $85. It's around $75 or so today. We heard a lot about overcapacity, particularly in the commodity chemical supply chains like ethylene and propylene and PVC and polymers like polypropylene. And overall, the message was, for the chemical industry, say goodbye to the second half recovery that was expected by many as 2023 kind of kicked off with that destocking, that took place, the stocking that took place in 21 and 22, the destocking towards the end of 22 and 23. There was a sense that, once that was over, things would come back, maybe not so much. So again, it's not a recession that's being called here, and that's really up to the National Bureau of Economic Research. But let's think about some of the things that you could do if, for example, you're a surfactant manufacturer. Some of the things you might do in expectation and recognition of some of these trends that we're starting to see. So I'm going to give you 5, and these are off the top of my head, my recommendations. Number 1, reduce product line complexity. It's an easy one. Complexity of product lines tends to get out of hand over time. And I'm not just talking about new products, and we'll cover that in a minute, but complexity in packaging options and specification options and grade options. Really try and simplify that. Number 2, watch inventory. If you address number 1, complexity, that's gonna help you on inventory. And so, you really want to address both of those together. Number 3, innovate. Don't give up on innovation. You're right. You're a value-added provider, most of you, and that's really what you want to bring to your customers to keep them engaged. That's matching with number 4, revamp and re-energize your sales and marketing. Take the opportunity to really get sharp and get focused in terms of how you market yourselves, your company, position your company, and position your products. It's a great opportunity to be doing that right now when perhaps business is not as healthy as you had hoped it would be by this time in the year. And number 5, and again, these are all linked. So this is linked to number 4. Spend more time with customers. If you already, and this is where the wheat gets sorted from the chaff. If you are at a point where you have that sort of relationship with customers, where you are viewed as a value-added resource and your salespeople are viewed as bringing in value-added ideas, then you're going to be able to spend more time with them. And that's going to pay off long-term, or in fact, in the medium term, when the economic picture recovers and we're back into a full growth mode. So I hope those 5 suggestions have been useful to you. I don't mean to be a harbinger of doom and gloom. I'm reflecting what I heard this morning, and this is happening in real time. So I encourage you guys to obviously keep in touch with those economic data and listen very carefully, of course, to your customers. I hope you found this useful. As always, like, subscribe, and leave some comments below in terms of what you would like to see next. Thanks for listening.